KZ Radio Network proudly presents the show that brings all points of view together. There's the view from the left, the view from the right, the view from the middle, and then there's the broader view. Your take on any topic of discussion is welcome. Just call 651-447-6309. Now, here are your hosts, Belle Salisbury and the lady who puts the Z in talk radio, Hazy.
And welcome back to the Broader View with Hazy and Belle Salisbury and our special guest, Lisa. And Lisa, we were talking about kind of getting rid of the negativity in our lives and kind of trying to move forward, out of areas of depression. And I kind of wanted to go into some of your metaphysical healing that you do. What are some practical tips that you can give us and our listeners to help us through those different little bumps in the road that can help us lift ourselves up a little bit?
Well, there are a lot of different things. Like for me, again, trying to keep your thoughts as positive as possible, which isn't always easy, but it's so important. And when we do it, it can become a natural thing where we're able to just naturally stay positive. And, those people that we look at now that are, that every once in a while I run into and they're just always happy and they're, and it's not that their lives are perfect. It's that they are just looking at they're taking the good out and focusing on the good. So that's obviously a top. There are things though that we can do just as rejuvenation. Once in a while, we just need to rejuvenate. We just need to take a break, to back away and sometimes escape. Meditation is a great way to do that. And you don't have to sit in some funny position and listen to a certain kind of music or whatever to meditate. Some of the best meditating I do can be, while I'm washing dishes, or something like that, because it's just what your mind is focused on nothing but your hands are just naturally doing something. It just does. And vacuum cleaner runs and makes me meditate.
Yeah.
When I'm vacuuming and things like that, it's just the noise. I don't know what's going on outside of my head.
Right.
And I can't hear anything outside of what's going on in my own head. So meditating, just being in the moment and listening for messages that come through, that may come through, just listening to your own thoughts, and then any negative thoughts and making them positive in some way. And then there are other things like, believe it or not, I'm a bit like this time of year, we don't need a little bit of sun. It's kind of necessary. It's a vitamin D thing. It's a serotonin thing. There are a lot of different things that sunlight does for us, and it can really the exposure to sunlight really improves health. It enhances all of our resistive powers in our body. So what we want to do is, for me, and I know this is frowned upon, but tanning booth every so often.
Yeah.
In the wintertime, maybe once a week, just for a few minutes and get that, that jolt of energy that comes from sunlight. Is it great for you? Do you want to do it long term? No. I'm not going to go all summer long. I'm not going to go all winter long. I'm not trying to get a tan to do something quick and easy to boost my mood a little bit. I always take vitamin D supplements in the wintertime. I'm not a milk drinker, so I don't really get vitamin D any other way.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to do just, some people, if you really have a severe depression problem in the wintertime, light therapy is a really great thing to do for yourself. And light therapy, there are light boxes that you can buy that are not tanning beds. They're not bad for you in any way, and they're not bad for your skin. And they really do. they really do help. And the other thing is color therapy, and that's one of the services I offer is therapy. And color therapy is interesting because, white light, which is what comes from, white light, the white light of the sun is actually made up of the light of all 7 different colors of the rainbow. So every color has a different effect and a specific effect on our body. Mm-hmm. So the sun is a natural therapy, but what I do, like I have like a lamp, and I'll put a certain color on the person, because the bulb changes. It's a complicated little machine, but right. It shines on, and all you have to do is have it shine. You close your eyes and just have it shine, that color shine on your eyes. Yeah. And in your, and you're not, it's not bright. It's not hurting. It's not going to give you a headache, but you're just receiving it. Other things like that help with color, pull out the pink out of the closet in the middle of the winter.
Exactly.
Everybody wants to wear black. We don't want to wear black.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're all in that kind of a mood, Well, pull out the yellow, pull out the pink, pull out the, the brighter colors, and wear colors, because of the fact that every time you look in the mirror, every time you look at whatever you're wearing, it's going to affect your mood. It's going to change your mood. So, warm showers are really good for you. Yoga. I mean, if you're somebody who enjoys yoga is really good for you.
Right. Right.
Doing sun salutations and all of the things. I'm a big fan of yoga, although I don't practice it enough because I just haven't found a way to incorporate it into my life. You kind of need to make it almost like a religious practice. You really need to make sure you do it as much as possible. But
right.
Just there are so many things that we can do for ourselves to just help wake us up. It's, everything. I think what happens in the fall is we start to see everything going dormant, and it reminds us of everything dying. The flowers stop blooming, the leaves fall off the trees, grass just goes dormant. Everything just, and then we're just like in survival mode. And if you're somebody who's not getting a lot of snow, like a lot of times the snow lifts you up.
Yes.
It gives you, it's like, oh wow, a snowstorm, cool. I apologize to all those people that get nothing but snow, because I'm sure that really stinks. But but I don't have that problem in Pennsylvania. My farm is if you're in the snow, you get all that snow, and then all of a sudden the sun shines, and then boom, that snow the snow is like the sun shining on the snow. The snow is creating, you're like blinded,
right.
You can't see because the snow has been so bright. Well, that, my friends, is a great thing you did for your body. Because,
does that have the same? Does that have the same effect as like a thunderstorm? Putting that energy back in. Yeah.
Well, okay. So, and the moon, in a different way, but absolutely. The snow, snow is reflecting the sun, which is causing that, those 7 colors of the rainbow to, and every one of those colors has a different frequency and acts differently within your body. Okay. Does something differently within your body. So when you get that blinding snow thing, when you go out in the snow and it's really, really bright, you come in and you can't see, you've just basically done like therapy on yourself. Mm-hmm. But with a lightning storm, a thunderstorm, if you enjoy thunderstorms, I love thunderstorms. Some people are terrified. Obviously, they're not so good for those people. Right. If you enjoy a thunderstorm, there is absolutely something amazing, in my opinion. I don't know if just something with nature right before a thunderstorm starts. Yes. If you're standing outside right before a thunderstorm, there is an exhilaration that just comes through you. Absolutely. That is amazing. It feels so good. And then to watch a thunderstorm from the safety of your house, or the safety of your car or wherever, if you can watch a thunderstorm, there's exhilaration. It's really powerful. And I don't know, it's something about nature. It's something about what nature gives us.
Well, don't they say, nature is our best healer?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And then amazing thing. The thing that I do most often, and I probably have all my neighbors thinking I'm a crazy person, but I sit out on my front porch and for as long as I can possibly take it. I'll take my iPod out there and I'll like jam in the music or whatever. But when there's a full moon, my butt's on my front porch.
Yeah, yeah.
And I am just soaking up the energy that full moon creates. It to me, it's like sunbathing without the sun. You know, it's so good for you. It feels so good. And so there's so much natural healing powers in nature and in the universe, you know, all by itself. One of the things like I do is crystal therapy, and obviously use herbs for healing. And people will look at me like I'm crazy when I talk about, oh, here, take this crystal, it'll help you. And they're like, what? It's a rock. You know, like,
yeah.
No, you don't understand. You know, and I explain, and my definition, my explanation for this has always been realize that how long it's been here, and how long people have been on the planet. Long before, you know, there was any kind of medicine. Long before even herbs had been tested and tried, and you know, people knew what to use.
Mm-hmm.
We had to have things to heal us.
Right.
You know, so God had to have put something in the earth, something in the universe to heal us. You know, so I think that the difference, like the sun and the moon and the thunderstorms and all of those things, along with the minerals that are in the ground that create all these different crystals, and crystals that have different metaphysical, spiritual, and healing properties, physical healing properties to them. There's a reason those are there.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
And they do. It's a more subtle type of healing. It's not the type of healing that you get from, you know, like I've had sciatic nerve problems, and I've taped a certain crystal, actually taped it. Let's just go with close to my butt,
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, walk around with this, you know, because the sciatic nerve, it just like shoots down,
right,
shoots
exactly.
down your back and down into your leg. So I'll tape it where it hurts, and people will be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, you know, okay, it's not Vicodin. I don't want to take Vicodin, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's a little bit it's subtle, but it's what, you know, I know it's going to work. I know it's not like instantaneous. I know maybe I'll take a couple of Advil at some point, but you know, it works. It's a subtle thing. And what I find is when I use a natural thing like crystals for healing, I will not have the sciatic nerve